before he died. Interestingly, before the meeting on the 15th of April, while I was in a very troubled office in Akwa Ibom, where he himself, having been the governor of the southeastern state that comprised of Akwa Ibom and Cross River State, in the very turbulent moment when I have not met General, he sent a message through Roxin Igelege to tell me that he's praying for me, that he had not met me before, but he has been following me, that he has come of age, that the dream that some of them have for Nigeria, that it is his hope that some of us will be able to realize it. And he offered prayers. He asked me to give me some verses to read, that the job I am doing, from what he's reading, nothing will happen to me, and that God will always be with me. But more seriously, I was outside the country. When he was on the sick bed, he called Igelege. Please, can you send a word to Mike Igini? Does it mean I won't see him again? I can't see him. Immediately I returned back to the country. My chief, Henry Ojogo, and Roxin, I called him to wait for me in Asaba, to the hospital, when Daddy was taking treatment. To where, for the first time, the presence of Mommy, for the first time, that I had to meet with Daddy. And he spoke to me while he was on the bed. He was happy. But 2 weeks after, he died. And so that was an opportunity of meeting him. And so, today, we are proud. We are here to honor him. And that's why I titled the paper, A Life of Duty, Integrity, Honor, and the Service of the Country, celebrating the legacy of General Paul Omo, the Olodi of Igini Kingdom, the Otuke of Isoko Nation. A man who sojourned this life for 85 years, having been born the 1st of July 1940. So, a family, Pastor Samuel Omo and Mama Go Omo, when he was given birth to, little did Daddy, Mommy, and indeed the Igini Kingdom know that a great man had been born. The paradigm of procreation was uttered, because the man we are talking about today, from far and near, nobody knew that this was what it was going to be. And so today we are gathered, not to mourn, but to celebrate a man whose service, sacrifice, leadership touched so many, including my humble self. The beginning of the life of General was quite interesting. He began his elementary education at St. Philip Anglican Church. When he was done, he proceeded to Zik Academy in Sapele, where he concluded his secondary education. And after the secondary education, General became a teacher. He was a teacher at Ibedeni, which is located today in Indokwa East, where he was teaching as a teacher. Now, his journey into the Nigerian army is quite interesting. You know, in every nation, service in the army, whether in war or peacetime, represent unmatched highest level of patriotism because of what is involved. But one day, General was returning from his teaching job. General saw an application for recruitment into the Nigerian army. When he looked at the publication, the deadline has passed. The general, as a man of destiny and a man of faith, General took a step of faith and wrote the application. But one interesting thing that happened was that a day before he was to go and post the application, there was heavy downpour. General determined to post the application. Decided to walk through the flood, was up to his chest, and he was holding the application just to be able to cross the water. He posted it, and to his pleasant surprise, he got a reply to appear in Ibadan. He got to Ibadan. When General got to Ibadan, he was interviewed. They found a very brilliant human being. Remember, unlike our own time today, General knew nobody. The parents did not know anybody. He went there to Ibadan. From Ibadan, he was asked to go to Zaria. Now, when he got to Zaria, they were all asked to write examination. After the exam, they were asked to go out they were free for 3 days. General, because of the love for his people, General asked, where is the place where we have people from the Midwest province? In Sambogeri. General went there to look for Isoko people. And he spent time with them. After they have assessed all those who participated in the examination, General came top. They were now looking for General because he needed to sew the uniform for him, because the next day they were going to take all of them to England. So when General was returning, I saw people pointing at him. So he was surprised. What offense has he committed? He now approached the gate with trepidation. And he was told that the exam that I've just been written, you came top. And that's why we're looking for you. They need to take the measurement of his uniform. That night, they made the uniform. And the second day, General was, of course, call him General now, the newly recruited Paul Omo and other of successful candidates were flown to England. It was when he got to England that through a postcard, he sent a message to Papa Samuel Omo that is now in England without knowing anybody. That was the Nigeria of our own of the then. Can we still say that about today? That where pupils will write JAM, but they cannot get admission even above the cutoff. Today, if you don't know anybody, a child of a poor person cannot access certain basic privileges in our country. And so, by 1962, December 1962, when he was recruited after the training, he returned back and he was commissioned as a commissioned officer on the 25th of July 1963. So he began as a commissioned leader of character, committed to the values of duty, honor, and integrity in the service of his fatherland, which he demonstrated with distinction through his career. And of course, General is a thorough professional, because much of his entire life, he was always a soldier, all true and true. Because recall that in the Civil War that broke out, General was a platoon commander. They shot his arm. He also bore that pain. He was shot during the Civil War. And of course, later, he became Assistant Quarter General Master of the 2nd Infantry Division. And thereafter, his first international major